Welcome today to our TMBT podcast. Today we're blessed to have two of our players, Derek Ashley from Mississippi and Deontay Russell Hall, who is also from Mississippi. I think Derek is in Texas currently and Deontay is in Florida. Also, we're blessed to have today Coach Buster Perkins, who is the leader of our TMBT Arkansas group. And we want to say thank you to all of you guys for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How you guys doing? Coach Perkins, how's everything going with you? It's an honor to have you here with us and able to talk shop and kind of give your players a chance to get to know who you are and how you see basketball. We really appreciate you joining us today, Coach Perkins.
I appreciate it, and I'm doing all right despite the hurricane that passed through here last night through Arkansas. God bless those who were impacted by the hurricane that went throughout the South. A lot of damage out here, but I'm thankful to be here. Thankful for the opportunity to join you and help some young men excel in their journey. So, yeah, I'm always thankful to be a part.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have two of our players that will be participating. Derek Ashley will be joining Coach Perkins in Arkansas. Derek Ashley, how you doing today?
Pretty good. I'm blessed. I'm glad to be 23 today. Glad to be 23.
Hey, man, happy birthday today. Today is Derek Ashley's birthday, so we want to send him birthday positive energy from everyone here at the company, everyone at our TMBT family. We want to send you a happy birthday today, young man. How you feeling on your birthday?
Pretty good.
Good.
I can't complain, man. I'm living. I'm healthy, so that's all I can ask for.
Yes, sir.
Word.
Blessings, man. Deontay Russell Hall, can you hear us, my brother? You here with us?
Yes, sir.
Good, man. How you doing, man? How's everything coming along with you and maintaining your focus? I know you'll be going to Miami for our TMBT Live 2020 Combine in Miami, Florida. But how's everything going with you and your family during these tough times, man? I know this is your first time doing a podcast with us. You've been applying for a while, so we've been trying to get you on here. How's everything coming along with your process and your family and how you guys holding up during this pandemic?
Oh, Coach, everything's going good. We just staying out the way and practicing social distancing. I'm getting my workouts in. Down here in Florida, they're starting to open up some gyms a little bit. So I'm able to get a little cardio in, a little run, everything like that.
Mm-hmm. Good, man. That's a good thing. It's been tough. People that don't know, they don't play pro basketball. They don't know what it's like to try to get to a gym and try to find some way just to stay sharp. Even though we didn't know when we'd be able to travel, we didn't know that our borders would be opening up on August 30th. It's been a struggle for some of our guys, man. It's been a struggle trying to get to a gym, trying to maintain your focus. Weights have been out of the question unless you have them at home. Coach Perkins, speaking of which, Coach Perkins, you have a pretty incredible setup what you are doing. You started your own business, your own basketball business back in your home state of Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us a little bit about what you have going on and kind of introduce yourself to our players and introduce yourselves to our listeners.
Okay,
once again, you've been on here before. You've been on our show before, but not in this capacity as the leader of young men coming up here. So continue, please.
Yeah, well, like I said, thanks again for having me. A little bit about me. I'm from McGee, Arkansas. I'm living in Little Rock, Arkansas at the moment, where I'm doing personal, private basketball training out at my family's gym. My older brother, he owns the establishment, and I just come in here and I put people to work, really. And it just worked in my behalf, especially with just recovering from coronavirus. So that took a toll on me. I was down for 57 days. 2 times I had to rush to the emergency room because my heart rate was so high. They thought I was having a heart attack. And, God bless, I was able to calm myself down. And, there's no medicine they can give you. They don't know what's going on. And I think that is the reason why they're trying to say that it's anxiety for a lot of people. And I don't think I've ever struggled with anxiety. I could be wrong. I'm also following up with professionals about that. But that's the tricky part about this stuff, man. You're going to the doctors and you could be on your deathbed about to have a heart attack and they can't give you nothing. They don't know what to give you besides saying it's the coronavirus, complications of the coronavirus. So that was a frustrating part about having to go through the whole coronavirus bit. But I tell you what, it made me a stronger mentally person for sure. That's something I definitely got out of this, as well as how to properly plan a business and move forward. With monetizing my time. So yeah, I'm definitely in great spirits now. Like I said, and it's been a couple times I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it past like day 30, 35. I thought it was over with, and there was nothing they could do besides call 911, rush to the emergency room, just so you could sit in the emergency room and sit there and they look at you and just monitor you. But then there's nothing they could do because nothing pulls up on their screen besides saying that you have a high heart rate out the blue. So, yeah, but having a mom that died from a heart attack at a young age, it kind of leaves me at a lot of limbo as far as how to deal with things. But, I'm definitely at a good place right now as far as my health, is building back up. I really don't have 100% of my strength back, and I'm still feeling left shoulder pains and pains throughout my chest and a little pressure. But as far as the coronavirus, they said that I'm negative for right now. So that's a blessing within itself. A blessing in disguise,
That's a blessing within itself.
But right now, man, I'm definitely just taking my time, and I'm organizing the trainings, and I'm putting kids and the local professional players who want to tighten up their game. I put them through stuff and give them some advice while they're out here working on their game, and just basically supervise the gym, making sure everything is safe. Really, checking temperatures, doing my checklist, making sure that everybody has a negative corona test while they before they can come into the gym or do training. All that stuff has to be on file to move forward, and I think that's the new norm that I think players have to get ready for. Like, it's almost you have to practice being in the bubble already, and just having your coronavirus test on file. You need that, like you need 2 weeks of water. You need that before you can go into a lot of establishments. I think that should be more of a protocol. Get that negative test so people know for sure. And then everything else falls into place. Like our topic of the day with racial equality. That's a lot of stuff. Like I feel like you need to do like voting. Voting is one of those things you need to do, just like you need a coronavirus negative test right now. Those two things that should be priority right now, as well as taking care of your health and taking care of your family. So that's my spiel. I'm always happy to be a part of the basketball world. Regardless if they're helping get guys overseas or getting guys in college or whatever it is to get them to the next step in life, I'm all for it. So if you guys ever need me, feel free to reach out to me.
Well, we're blessed to have you with us, young fella. I'm blessed to have us with you. Out of all people know how seriously you take basketball. You were one of my first clients in 2009. You attended one of our camps in Richmond, Virginia, when you graduated, and you were blessed to get a job and go to Canada and play, and you've been playing ever since. So we here, of course, are very proud of you, homegrown guy. Even though you're from Arkansas, you went to school here in Richmond, Virginia. And so, it's a thing where you see your your students go on and be successful. It's the same thing that I want for Deontay and Derek, to be successful and to play until you're 35, and just love the game, and what you get out of it and what you put into it is what you get out of it, right? Deontay Hall, talk a little bit about yourself, my brother. Talk a little bit about yourself. Born and raised in Mississippi, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good, man. Talk a little bit about where you went to high school and college. We send a huge shout out to your university. We have a couple other players that have also signed. A couple of your teammates. We'll send shout outs to those guys for joining our family. But talk to us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. My name is Deontay Russell Hall. I'm originally from Waynesboro, Mississippi, where I played my high school ball at. Came off a championship winning team where the whole team was good. I ended up leaving there, playing my college ball at Mississippi Delta. Played there for Coach Fears for 2 years, and then ended up at Southern University from New Orleans, playing under Coach Val my first year, and my senior year we got a new coach, and ended up playing under Coach Gill at Southern University, where I led the team in blocks both years. I was tied with steals, and I was the second leading scorer my senior year. I guess you say a kid from Mississippi, trying to make it professional.
Okay. All right. Hey, man, that's a good thing.
Hey, man, right on. I trained in Cleveland, Mississippi. I remember when we lost the year we lost in the Sweet 16, my senior year, right before I had went to Canada for the opportunity with Miller. I trained in Cleveland, Mississippi, right outside of Delta State University.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, so it was hot. They had us doing workouts that the coach from Chicago did with the players, I guess, in Chicago. And we was on the track every morning, man. It was so hot. I remember Mississippi, man. I love my time there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Derek Ashley,
we got beside each other. So, anytime you do go back home to Mississippi, man, pass through, it's all love.
Oh, yes, sir. I will. No problem.
We will be getting some more gym time. Derek Ashley, also born and raised in Mississippi, correct?
Correct.
Right. Talk to us a little bit about yourself as well, and your upbringing in Mississippi. Kind of like Deontay. Talk to us a little bit about your high school and where you went to college.
Yeah, I went to Oak Grove High School in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I graduated 2015. I was top 50 players in Mississippi throughout my junior year through my senior year. I got a scholarship to Tougaloo College, HBCU, in Jackson, Mississippi. I played there for 3 years, won a championship in GCAC. I didn't play it against my fellow brother here, TMBT family now. We were opponents in our conference, as you know. And we done played against each other, and we know each other very well. Well, not just very well as a personnel, but we done seen each other faces before plenty of times throughout the conferences, tournaments, and stuff like that throughout the season.
Right.
Tougaloo, my freshman year, I didn't do as well as far as I'd say nationwide stats. So my sophomore year, my career high was 43 points. And ever since that game, after that game, it just ricocheted to 30 points, 28, 24, and then my junior year, like I said, I only played 3 years at Tougaloo until I got the opportunity to play professional basketball. And I'm seeing LaMelo Ball and all these young guys already overseas, already making money and not going to college, and already going to the NBA. Just opened my mind, opened up my eyes. Am I limiting myself, or type of thing, or can I be better than what I already am? So I just wanted to take that challenge and see how good I really can be.
Right.
And I want to challenge myself, not only, you know, to represent the TMBT family, but to also represent myself as a player. So I'm just willing to give it all I got and just hope for the best out of my results, off my hard work. So I shouldn't be worried about nothing if I'm putting the work in, correct?
Correct, man. We appreciate, man. We wish we had. We want everyone to have the same mentality, and it's funny. I hear you talk about how you and Deontay played against each other. Sounds like you guys know each other, and that, believe it or not, will pay off because you guys will be traveling with the same group. Mississippi will be traveling together. So one time opponents, now we all family. We're all part of the same TMBT family. And
exactly.
I need you to know his game, and I need him to know yours, so that especially when we go down, we've had groups in the past where guys went down, or when a coach comes up and guys just start going one-on-one, they thinking, man, I got to show this guy I can score. And he makes the whole group look bad because now the next person that catches the ball, he wants to go one-on-one. And now the next person feels as though he has to go a one-on-one. Nobody's playing for the team. Right. And so we had a first group that we took in 2019, 5 guys. All 5 guys got signed. It's because they played together. So like we tell everyone, you're not competing against a guard is not competing against another guard, or forward is not competing against another forward. You're competing against yourself. And every day that you take the court, you have to show our coaches why they should choose you for some of these jobs that we're going to interview for, right? I want you to talk a little bit, Deontay, talk a little bit about how you came to our TMBT family. How'd you, did you have an agent before? How'd you, I think you contacted us through Messenger. How did you get to us? Talk about your process. Hopefully we can inspire some other guys who are maybe stuck or not knowing what to do. We're trying to help as many serious young men as we can. Talk a little bit about your process, how you went from finishing up your season to getting to our TMBT family.
After my senior season, ended up doing a couple camps in Vegas and ran to a couple coaches and agents. Coach Daniel Dunn, he told me about TMBT family and everything, and told me that it would be a good look for me because I just wanted to be on somebody's team playing somewhere. And I just said yes, sir, and I took his word, and I'm here. Followed up on the go.
Yeah. We're glad to have you. What does that mean to you when someone tells you, son, you're supposed to be playing somewhere? What does that mean to you? What is that? First of all, that's a compliment. For someone to say, man, you should be playing somewhere. What did that mean to you when that coach said that to you? That was a blessing. I think Coach Perkins and I will agree that things of that nature where someone can not only tell you you deserve to be playing somewhere else, but can put you in contact with someone. That doesn't happen a lot. What does that mean to you for him to do that?
They gave me, they just shined a little light on me and let me know, hey, you can do this. You can put your mind to it. If you work hard, the hard work does pay you off.
Right, does pay off. Derek asked the same question, my brother. How did your process go from finishing up your season to joining our TMBT family?
Once I got done with my junior season and we won a championship and stuff, and and I seen how good my numbers was, as far as with my film, and people was I was just giving that advice, I think I should just try to pursue my my dream, my goal to play professional. And everybody around me was just giving me confidence, go for it, try it. What's the worst that can happen if you know how good you can be? So I just started, putting myself out there, and you presented to me, as an agent or consultant, that you'll be able to help me and you'll do whatever it takes for you to, pursue my dreams as long as I work hard. That would made me buy in right there. Once you just say, just put in the work and I do the rest, basically,
Right.
You know, that just basically like gave me like, okay, well, I got somebody behind my back, regardless, as long as I work hard and as long as I show them that I'm willing to commit.
Right.
And that's all. I mean, it was just another blessing for me. That's how I look at it. It was just another blessing. Because you probably could have said, well, I don't like the way you shoot, or I don't like the way your film does. Or you know what I'm saying, I'm on to the next player, because that's what agencies do, you know. Like, you have to really, like, play D1, like NCAA D1 to actually get signed to you know what I'm saying, or to I would just say, like, a bigger agency, or, like, you know what I'm saying, because they don't pick NAIA players that, even though we D1 in NAIA, you know, they'll still pick NCAA D1 over us, just because, even though if he averaged, like, say if NCAA D1 average, like, a guard, let's say, like, 6'5", 6'6", average, like, 4 or 5 points, but I'm in NAIA D1, I'm only 6'3", and I'm averaging 13, 14, they gonna pick him just to the simple fact he's in NCAA and I'm in the NAIA, and that's what, like, put a chip on my shoulder every day I work out, because I know I got to be better. Right. You know, I got opportunities to be better as a player. I don't just settle for anything.
Right, definitely. Coach Buster Perkins, I'm glad that these young men get a chance. One will be coming to see you, and one will not. But I'm sure Deontay Hall will have a chance to meet you. Talk a little bit about yourself. I know you're a very humble person, but we want our listeners to remember back to your first podcast. Talk a little bit about yourself and your resume, and what it is what wisdom you're looking to impart on those young men that you will be leading in Arkansas.
Well, just to touch on what I just heard from the young man, what's his name again? Derek? Was that Derek?
I'm Derek Ashley.
Yes, yeah, so Derek, man, hey, great points, man. And I commend you on your chip on your shoulders. Keep that, because me coming from Division II, playing around some grade 8 dogs, we had like a little cakewalk around the CIAA. Don't want to rub it in. But, we threw everybody out. And it's because everybody knew their role, and they knew their time, and they knew each other's tendencies. We grew as family and friends. I mean, as rivals, and as rivals, you study your rivals. You really pick them apart, and then that
right
flows to the other. Long story short, man, I only averaged 2.1, 2.3 points a game in college. I went off some games, for sure. I went off some games, but played that leadership role, because you're going to be around amazing talent, and it's going to be up to you to be able to win with the cards you got on the table. That's sometimes what coaches are looking for. They're trying to say, okay, how can you come in here and transform this establishment I got, this business I got, into something of a success? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we don't, like, a lot of the time, I guess what I'm trying to say is, a lot of the time, a lot of the stats and stuff help. Where you went to school, that helps. Most of the time, in situations where it became about money, it's what you see, what the product, when the product gets there, what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, does this, yeah, okay, let's see what he got. And sometimes it might be somebody that they had no idea was on the board, and they see him play for 2 seconds, and they be like, you know what? I need him on my team. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was always on. I was always to show up and put on a show. Like, while I didn't average a lot of points, everybody's like, wait a minute, why he didn't average a lot of points? And, I feel like, humbly, I wasn't the best shooter. I had some real good shooters on my team, but I kept that thing too. Like C.J. McCullough said, I keep that shit ready too. But man, when I was playing in my tenure, man, I always dominated my matchup. And coaches like to see you be able to dominate your matchup, be able to understand where the mismatch is at. Sometimes it's not going to be for you, but you got to be smart enough to understand. Okay, well, this ain't me. Go ahead, let's flip it down to him. I think he got a midget on him, or I think, you know what I'm saying, I think he's faster than that guy. I think he can whatever he got to do. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to win at. It might be his 20-point game. I felt like that's where I excelled at because I would recognize, oh, okay, man, dang, it's my shooting guard, my three man, it's they night again. This is like 10 nights in a row. But I got giving it to them because we win it. We win about 20 and 40. That's putting people in the stands. That's getting stuff taken care of. And at a young age, man, when I played for Virginia Union, well, hey, what you say, Milton Bell, the prestigious Virginia Union University. Man, we beat people from just players being that smart on the court. They were more than just basketball, I can jump over you type of smart players, but they were also unselfish players that did what it take and made the sacrifices that it took to be able to be a championship caliber team. And I think that's the type of things that I took with me moving forward, to know when it was time to ignite myself, to turn on that switch or want to turn it off and let somebody else shine bright. You know what I'm saying? And by doing that, I mean, I remember when we played in the Black College Classic in LA my senior year. Well, no, that was my junior year. Yeah, my junior year. It was an agent who I remember, meeting us at that half court after the game. Like, hey, man, you own something. Just, keep critiquing your jump shot and keep leading the team. Anthony, he might have to mute his mic.
Hello?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, Lee, can you hear me, brother? We live, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. How you doing, brother?
I'm gonna let him go introduce himself because I know you say he just tuned in. Go ahead and introduce. We just introducing ourselves right now, and then we're gonna get into the topic of racial equality or inequality. Press mute on your microphone real quick. Don't know your mic.
All right, say it again.
Hold on 1 second, Lee. Hold on,
mic for a second because you in the gym.
Oh, yeah, let me step off. Sorry. Can you guys hear me better now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Just the background a little bit. We straight.
All right.
Yeah.
Lee, can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I can.
Good, man. You right on time, man. You right on time. We're actually live, and so what we'll get you to do is to come in and to explain. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Explain to the listeners. I know you've been on before, but kind of explain to the listeners who you are and where you grew up.
Yeah, my name is Lee Anthony McLeroy. I'm from Wichita, Kansas. I just came back home from Argentina in April, and I was over there for the just doing workouts and stuff with different teams and stuff like that. I had a chance to get signed by a team, but they were staying on the deal and stuff like that. And right now I'm just in the gym, just trying to get better. Just playing pickup and about to shoot afterwards.
Good. We also got Coach Buster Perkins on the line. Lee Anthony will be joining Coach Perkins' group down with our TMBT Arkansas group. And we're talking a little bit today, Lee Anthony, about racial equality is the premise for our podcast. Just talking a little bit about life, and Coach Perkins was talking a little bit about his experiences overseas and in college. And it's one of those things where the whole premise for our podcast today is to bring and to shine some light on racial equality, especially with the Jacob Blake situation in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I think what we wanted to do today with our TMBT Media podcast is to shed some light on racial equality. Of course, every human being has a different opinion of racial equality. And I wanted to talk to everyone today about your personal opinion. And as an African-American man in the United States today, what's your personal opinion on racial equality? I think I would like to start with Coach Buster Perkins. You being the second oldest in the group, I would like to know your opinion of racial equality.
Racial equality. Well, when we pulled up, just going from the text. You can look this up, Wikipedia. It says racial equality occurs when institutions give equal opportunities to people of all races. In other words, regardless of physical traits such as skin color, institutions and are to give individuals legal, moral, and political equality. So with just going off of that, it just seems that giving everybody equal opportunity. That's what it's all about, regardless of your race, and that doesn't seem like the matter in the United States.
Lee, can you hear me, brother? Is there any kind of way you could maybe get a little further away from that noise in the gymnasium, if you could?
Yeah. Mute it while you're not talking. Press mute. Yeah. Press mute when you're not talking. Lee, I got you.
That's good, man. No worries. We'll go down the line. Lee Anthony, what's your definition of racial equality?
My definition of racial equality is just fairness in all races, no matter what. Like, not looking at skin color and thinking that just because that skin color we're labeled or we're put into a box or a category, Like for me, I kind of it's kind of a little personal for me because I dealt with that growing up my whole high school. I was one of 20 blacks in my whole high school. So for me, dealing with that and having to get people to look at me as an equal and not looking at me as they were better than me, it was hard. So I think the more that people come to be able to grow in those areas and grow not to see skin color as it's just always, that person don't mean nothing, and actually grow to see that people have hearts and stuff like that, man. My heart goes out to Jacob Blake and his family and stuff just because of the whole situation, His kids, and he'll never be able to play with his kids or do anything with his kids besides being in a wheelchair and play with his kids, I got a cousin that went through the same thing that Jacob Blake went through, so I know the pain and the agony of how it feels, man. It's not a good feeling. So I feel like if more people were in touch with racial equality and knew the lines of how to deal with it, I think our world would be better. But you see how it is going, man. The people are running from the situation more than trying to help the situation.
Very true. Very true, young man. Deontay Russell Hall, same question, my brother. What does racial equality, what's your definition of racial equality? I'm coming from a young man born and raised in Mississippi in his 20s.
Coming from Mississippi, I feel like it's different from everywhere else. It's still racism, in Mississippi. It's still some parts of Mississippi that you really don't want to travel through at night by yourself. It's still, it still needs change and everything like that. But my definition is basically doing right by others, doing right and treating everybody the same, because skin color is really just a color.
Right. Wow. Derek Ashley, same thing, my brother. Growing up in Mississippi, African American young man in his 20s, trying to make it to see college, trying to make it. So much crime. We're all from the inner city of our cities. What does it take? What does racial equality look like in your eyes?
I really don't. I hate to even talk about it because it's so wrong how white people or just say, it's just, I don't know, it's just I feel like they just got a grudge against us, and then again, I feel like they just want to be us at the time. I don't know, it's like it's the between line of love and hate. It's some white people are not racial at all. You will meet other racials and they won't have that, attention. But you do have that in Mississippi to where I can't walk with her. Just if I had example, if I had a white girl, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't just go out in public without somebody just keep staring at her, or just keep looking, or it's really in Mississippi, it's totally different. That's why I had to get up out of there. That's why I had to
Hey, man, that sound like me. I told you about how it's like that, ain't it?
It was like that in Arkansas. Small in Mississippi, so it's just when you And then like Mississippi, like it was saying like they known for like country stuff, so they really take a toll on it and like try to use that as their advantage to get away with things like slick stuff that I really don't like. Like it's really like nonsense, especially like with the Jacob Blake situation. And like, how does a kid, a white person or a white teenager, shoots up a public place and does not go to jail? Like that don't sit well with me at all. Like, because if he was black, like I said, I repeat once again, if he was black, he would probably be dead or in jail, not walking around still free. So,
well, the good thing is that we all know that to be true. It's sad that we're having to talk about this after so much chaos that went on with George Floyd and his passing.
Yeah, that's even worse.
We're dealing with the Jacob Blake thing, his shooting, but it's something else that we had to revisit. I want to talk a little bit about what it meant. Of course, all of us are basketball players. All of us lived this and lived it and dreamt about it, and now Coach Perkins and I had a chance to do it. What does it mean to you to see superstars like LeBron James, Chris Paul, James Harden, and these guys taking a stand and saying, "Hey, we are going to make some impact with the platform that we have"? What does it say to you, Deontay Russell Hall, when one of your idols or a few of your idols take a stand against what's going on? How does it make you feel as a young man?
I love it, Coach, because they're using their platform that they build to basically get the message out and at least try to do something, because it can't be up and change if they don't let it.
Right.
Thanks.
Right. Derek Ashley, how about you? One of your idols standing up, or a few of your idols standing up for what they believe in. We're talking about guys who are multimillionaires. They don't have to do this. They don't have to jeopardize their family and their livelihood, but they are, and they're trying to bring some awareness to it. What does that mean to you? What does that say to you about what those guys are really like? Not just about guys you see on TV.
My bad. Y'all hear y'all?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Derek Ashley.
For my opinion, I should say, like, for them to have that much money and not worry about basketball for a moment, then worry about what's really going on in life, that's enough said right there. Like, for them to not go play and stuff like that, to let the world know what's really going on in the real life situation besides the playoffs and game 2 and game 3, like, we are still dying out here. We still got to watch our back. We still got to look over our shoulders for no reason. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be like this.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with you, Lee. You want to touch on the subject a little bit about what you and I talk basketball a lot, especially while you were in Argentina with our last group before the pandemic hit. We talked a lot of basketball. The old school basketball, not the bubble. We used to talk basketball and watch basketball. And what does that mean to you? What's going on inside the bubble? What these multimillionaire idols are standing for? What does that mean to you?
Well, for me, man, it means a lot, man. Because I think the biggest person that really has stood out a lot to me, who I really I looked up to in these, especially being in my position, man, is just Kyrie, man. I know the other guys are doing a lot right now, but just the little things that he's done, he donated $1.5 million of his own money to all the WNBA players who chose to opt out this year. I think about him. I think about other people, besides just LeBron and those other people Tasha Cloud from the Washington Mystics. Her choosing not to play this whole season and go do what she's doing. Same thing like Kyrie. I think about guys like LeBron and Chris Paul and them guys standing up. So I love seeing it. I really do. I think that if they demand more and say, we're going to stand for this and keep standing on it, we'll see more change Because, like, the more that you have a public figure showing it and the more that people see it from the public figure's eyes, they're going to jump on board more than they is the news, you know. So I think the more that we see public figures that we look to, like everyday sports in the sports industry and stuff, the more we see them doing it, the more we'll catch on, the more we'll grow to become better and do better.
Right. Coach Perkins, we're going to put you on the spot here today, brother. We know you don't normally, you know, you're not a huge political guy, but we're going to ask your opinion. You're a little bit older, recently finished playing overseas. What does it mean to you to be someone who's not my age, who's not 50, but you're not 20? You are old enough maybe to understand a little more of what's going on in these young men on the phone. And what does it mean to you when, I won't say some of your idols, but some guys that you look up to for their work ethic, and you see them taking a stand and what's going on in the United States? What does that mean to you as a pro basketball player?
It means a lot. It definitely means a lot, man. And I was just thinking, I give a hat off to Elizabeth Cambridge. What's her name? Elizabeth Cambridge from Australia. Her and Patty Mills. A lot about the country of Australia. But I'm up and down with my feelings towards it, because while I feel like that was a great gesture of them standing against, you know, about boycotting, but that has them standing against racial equality, is just sometimes could be sending mixed messages to a lot of people. And I hope that it's taken the right way and people actually are more aware of what's going on. Because, like Patty Mills, he said he's going to donate his money of his salary to his country regardless, because he knows it needs reform in the way they treat people in Australia, from Aboriginal people to Torres Strait Islander people. Same thing goes for America. Like, you know, that's what his speech was about, and that's what his gesture was about. And now, you know, push come to shove, and it keeps happening. It's just, you know, it's unfortunate. But, you know, good thing is, now day and age, you can vote, you know, and they're telling people different ways to get out and vote and let your voice be heard. And voting is like the key, like no other right now. So while back in the day it used to be just a lot of people just, you know, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. So now, instead of, you know, trying to figure out, you know, what gesture to make, you know, voting is the ultimate gesture, I think. So I think that's where it's inevitable to avoid, you know, voting nowadays and age. It's like you definitely got to go take a stand at the voting booth. So that's where I'm at with it, because I know back in the day I was young when all the racial stuff was happening, and I felt like I was powerless and voiceless, while I seen my grandfather, you know, go out and take stands in the community and try to help people by, you know, trying to create jobs and, you know, rental houses to try to help people as far as their shelter and stuff, and trying to, you know, break down on the stress in the community so it won't be so much crime and things that you could do. But now, you know, they got to take the first step, because you see what happens when you don't. And, you know, that's neither here nor there as far as the head of the household. But, yeah, so let's go vote so we can make a change.
Hey, man, well said. That's big. That's big for me to be able to have such a diverse group, diverse panel of young men, African-American young men, with so much turmoil going on in today's society, to kind of give the opinion coming from different angles. So and
did you hear? Like, I mean, did you understand what Patrick Mills was talking about? He said, don't get distracted by your frustrations and leave money on the table. That's what they want you to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They're always starting at a point where they don't have to pay you, and they don't have to give you money to do things for your community. So don't go so blindsided. Right now we got the pandemic going on, which could kill you regardless if you stay in the house or not, it looks like. So now they're trying to scare you more into situations where it make you feel like you don't want to go out and vote because of the pandemic and stuff. But so, like, it's so many different ways that they're trying to play play on the minds of Americans to try to push people back. Don't get distracted. Please don't get distracted, because that's what they want. That's what the people who are just, who are voting, that's what they want you to do. They want you to not show up, because then they win regardless. That's just like a jump shot. Regardless, if you don't take the jump shot, you missed it regardless. You don't even know if you made the shot because you didn't even take it. So
you got to attempt.
You should definitely
attempt.
Yeah, you should definitely get the attempt up. So the attempts help here in this situation, and that could put a minority in office besides Michael Jordan. And and also one thing I wanted to touch on before you wrap up, because I know it's way over time, so I'm with you on that because I got an appointment. So one thing I wanted to also bring up while we're trying to put, we in the forefront. We're definitely in the forefront. But when it comes to racial equality, everybody has to have the same opportunity to do things where people have to step aside themselves and understand what you're really promoting. You understand?
Right.
So it's not. It's definitely Black Lives Matter. Hell yeah, Black Lives Matter. We better, but it's also understanding what you putting yourself in a conversation to talk about. So now you got to understand why people feel like Latinos, Aboriginal people, people that ain't white, anybody that's not white matters. You understand what I'm saying? But also, those races matter too. So we got to really put it out there in order to bring people to ultimate change. We got to vote, and we got to open up our minds to be wiser. Because, a lot of people got friends that are Latino, best friends that are Latino, white, Australian, Indian, things of that nature, So everybody wants to take a stand and help our culture, but we got to help ourselves. So we got to vote. That's my spiel on it. I'm done.
Well, you hit it right on the head. It's something that's going to take a collective effort of everyone who wants change. If you want change, we'll have a chance to get it, and you'll have a chance to voice your opinion. I think that's most important. I think that's what my definition of racial equality encompasses. It encompasses everything equal, and equal meaning the same. Our culture, our race having the same amount of say-so in the outcome. I think what we're asking for is pretty simple, and it's just to be fair. And then we are willing to let the chips fall where they may if it's on a fair playing field. That's a story for another day. What I wanted to do before and we will try to have part 2 of this racial equality podcast here on our TNBT Media Las Vegas podcast today. I want you, Derek Ashley, before we wrap it up, want you to shout out your social media handles or your email. If there's someone who's listening, some young player wants to ask for advice on your pro routine, or someone trying to join the family or looking just to succeed, to get to the next point of becoming a pro, we'll get you to shout out your social media handles for us.
Yeah, my Instagram name is FOE.DA__the sniper14. You can just DM me anytime. You can ask me any questions. I'll get back with you as soon as I can see it.
Same thing for you, Deontay.
My IG is _Russellville RUSSELLVILLE. And just holler at me if you need, ask me anything. I'll get back with you as soon as possible.
Perfect. Lee Anthony, you as well, my brother.
Yeah, mine is Lee on Instagram. It's Lee_McLeroy20, and it's the same thing as well. It's on Twitter, Facebook. It's just Lee Anthony McLeroy.
Right. Coach Perkins, you got any info on your business for anyone that's close by in your area in the Little Rock, Arkansas Hey, we want to give you a chance to shout out all of your social media handles, how people can find out more about you, and events that you have coming up outside of our TNBT Argentina event. We want you to give our listeners everything they'll need to get in contact with you.
Okay, well, my social media handle is B22Great. That's BE22 and the word great. And man, I'm a private guy, so I mean, if you wanna work out, you got to DM me, and I'll be able to send guys the workout website and very organized, so I can kind of clear out the clutter and I can get waivers and everything sorted out before people show up at the gym. And we try to keep the gym like a private warehouse, so a lot of people can't really come and interrupt. It's a really focused environment. We try to keep it top tier. So just hit me up on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. And, the only thing I'm going to leave people with is, make sure you go out and vote. Make sure you vote. Have a good business. It's part of running a business, just like you got to get your corona negative test. Get those two things in order so you can move forward, and I have no reason to be held back. And, God bless everybody.
Yes, sir. Of course, anyone that wants to get in contact with any one on our panel today, you can always contact us here. I'm at the company at TNBT Media. Our email is milton.bell@miltonbellbasketball.com. Our phone number is area code 702-908-1501. Our website is www.miltonbellbasketball.com. That's all one word. And we're looking forward to anyone that we can help or anyone that needs help. We'll be having more of our young men on. These young men will be back. Coach Perkins will be back with us. So we're just sending positive energy out to everyone during this time, during this pandemic. Please stay safe. Please be careful of those that are traveling. Wash your hands and respect the next man. Wear your mask and be safe. Be safe. Follow protocols. I know everyone's in a different city. Check your CDC regulations for your city. And so we want to say thank you for everyone that tuned in tonight and everyone that's tuning in around the world. Gracias por seguirnos esta noche. Thanks for tuning in. God bless everyone. Good night.
All right. Y'all take care. Holla at me.
Yeah, we said.